All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fausto. Welcome to Cybertrade University. Could everyone see the cam okay and hear the audio loud and clear? Just want to do a quick audio check and just make sure the cam looks fine over there for you guys. Just fix it for you. Here we go. All good? All right, good. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fausto Pugliese. I'm president and founder of Cybertrade University. I'd like to thank all of you for coming today. Yes, this is not a recording. It's really me. It's the first time. Once in a while we put on the cam so you guys can get, relate the face to what we're going to be seeing. Just don't mind me if you see me looking around because I have 4 monitors and I'm actually trading right now. And also, I also run a professional trading room, so I'm watching my traders and working with them side by side. All right, so in the meantime, if you don't have any audio, the best thing to do is just log out and log back in. So if you notice that you do get booted out of the meeting, that's one of the ways how we remedy the problem. So let's get that fixed. All right, so no, actually, Carl, I'm just trading equities right now, okay? All right, so we got everything running, so let's move on and let's start talking, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for coming. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be having a 2-day event, and in this 2-day event, we're going to talk about, I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about how to play the game in trading, and by knowing how to play the game in trading, that will give you a ballpark and understanding of what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. And then I'm going to show you a couple of trades that we've done in the last 2 days. Now, is anyone here a student of mine? Anyone a student of Cybertrade University? Okay, Jim, good to see you. Joe Berkman, thank you very much. Nice to see you. Edgar. Okay, so it's great that we have some students in here because what I'm about to show you, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get an endorsement or if you want a testimonial or proof that what you're about to see is for real, you feel free for the students to tell them everything that we do. Now, just quick little disclaimer from our friends in the compliance department. Just please keep in mind that there is a very, very high risk in trading, and past results don't indicate of future returns. And Cybertrade University and all their individual affiliates on the site assume no responsibilities of your trading investments. To read more about it, visit our homepage or our website. Now, like I mentioned earlier, today's event is a 2-part event. Okay, I cannot cover all the content in one hour. Plus, the thing is, right now we're at the slow time of the market when to trade. The most volatile time to trade is in the first hour and the last hour. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to talk about why trading is important, what you need to do, and then if you really like what you hear, then all of you, hopefully everybody will register and come back and see me trade live tomorrow right at the open. Once again, this is free. It doesn't cost you anything, okay? The thing that I'm trying to, what I'm going to try to show all of you guys today is I want to show you exactly what is trading about, how does it work, and most importantly, to make you realize that every one of you need a mentor. And even if you took training from somebody else, that good traders never stop learning, or maybe the guy who trained you didn't teach you enough. And that's what my goal is today. I'm here to show you what trading's about, and I want to show you why I was a 12-time champion and beat every single school in the industry due to the way I was trained. Now, the reason for this, which before I get into it, quick little bio. Once again, any audio issues, best thing to do for everyone, just log out and log back in. About a little bit about Cybertrade University, just want to let you guys, just to know exactly why am I here? Why am I listening to Fausto? Why am I not listening to some other company, or why am I not watching someone, listening to one of the analysts on TV? Why does Fausto know more than most people? Well, just to let you know, I was you 20 years ago. Now you can see I'm not really that old, but I'm only 42 years old. I started when I was 22 years old. Now I started the company back in 1995, Cybertrade University, started one of the first educational schools in the industry. Now how I got into trading, because I know a lot of people ask this, they say, you know, Fausto, if you're such a great trader, why do you teach? Well, first of all, I love teaching. I have a passion to teach, and I know that everybody here needs to learn. And the reason why, but even beside that, because I found that out after, the real reason I teach is because trading is a part-time job. It's not a full-time job. Trading is only 1 hour a day, half hour, you trade the morning. And how I got into education, honestly, I was semi-retired at the age of 24. I was doing so well consistently every day that my mentors who trained me says, Fausto, I want you to understand that 90% of your time is going to be spent on education. 10% of your time is going to be spent on live trading. So when you finally spend all that time learning how to trade, you're going to have a lot of time on your hands. And I never really knew what that meant. But now I do, and the thing was this. There's so many people that bash and say, you know what, trading, you're going to lose your money, you're going to make mistakes. Where you can get that GM? Absolutely. Go to moneyshow.com. Moneyshow.com, you can even call them up. They'll be happy to tell you if you want to know a champion. And not only that, I'm even going to prove it to you because you're going to watch me trade live tomorrow, okay? And I love people that, obviously question it because there's a lot of people out there that use that. But I do have a record. Obviously, I personally think will never be beat at the Traders Expo and Money Show. But the thing is this, most importantly, you have to learn how to, you need a mentor and you need to learn from a trader. You need to know why these people are going to teach you how to do it right. And let me tell you, before I was a very successful trader, I was a very successful loser because I was that person that was self-taught. I didn't want to go out there. I didn't want to go out there. I didn't want to learn how to do it. I didn't want to think I could learn it on my own. And that's the thing that where people eventually learn how to trade. They go out there, they want to trade, they learn the hard way, and that's where people make big mistakes. So, but before I learned how to trade, first I had to learn how to trade. And that's where I was making a very big mistake because I didn't know what industry to trade. So just a quick question to all of you. Can you guys tell me what kind of trader do all of you want to be? Stock trader, day trader, options, Forex, futures? What kind of trading is everybody looking to do? Oh, by the way, a lot of you have it to private. Just click where it says to all participants so I could see what everyone's putting in there, where it says send to in the chat. Okay, we've got Forex traders. Just put it to all participants when you click on the chat. Okay, we got a lot of day traders, options, futures, options, Forex, Forex day trading. Okay. Options, Forex. Okay. Dr. Bob wants to do some oil options, ETFs. Okay. All right, good. All right, so with that said, ladies and gentlemen, not sure. Well, that's that. I like that answer. Let me explain to you. I never really knew what kind of trading I wanted to do. So it's great that a lot of you guys are looking and exploring different markets. But the thing is, you all need to trade and learn how to trade on your own and know exactly what industry is better for you. Now, that's why you have to learn options, stocks, futures, and Forex. Now, I preferably like stock trading because it's a lot easier, a lot more controllable. It's very popular. You hear about it on TV a lot more. Something we all can relate to because we deal with products all day long when it comes to it. Now, the difference between stocks and options and Forex, I mean, basically is only a 30% difference. They all trade the same way. We got charts, we got market makers, we got supply and demand, we got all that stuff. And that's something that you're going to see that you're going to learn today that you could relate it to all the others. Now, just to let you know about a little bit more about CyberTrade University, the way I also got into trading is that being a successful trader, then I eventually said, you know what, people need to learn how to do this. You hear so much negativity. I know all of you here, there's some of you here that are semi-retired, maybe trading your IRA, maybe you're unemployed, or maybe you're too qualified for a job. You know what? Go out there and trade. Go out there and trade and go out there and do it yourself. That's the thing that you have to look at. But the thing is you have to see is for you or not. Now, Why is trading such a big failure rate? Very simple. Sit there and look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, who actually taught you how to trade? Were you self-taught? Because let me tell you, if you're telling me you read books, books don't talk back to you, okay? I watched some videos. Videos don't talk back to you. You need a mentor. How many people are successful on their diet and they buy some video on TV and says, oh, I want to buy that video, that's going to help me. Or buy that new workout gym on an infomercial. How many have actually worked? You know what the best diet is? The best diet that really does work is getting a trainer and a nutritionist, okay? What's the problem between that versus what you've been doing? Is that it costs money. But you know what? It works. Now, I don't need to convince anybody here about getting into a diet. I'm using it as a metaphor. But you know all of you want to trade. And that's what I'm about to show you. So let's talk about some of the mistakes that people make. A couple of things we're going to learn today. We talk about discipline. We're going to talk about online brokers. We're going to talk about level 3, total view. We're going to talk about the KISS method on reading charts. We're going to talk about stocks we traded and much, much more. Okay? Now, can everyone just let me know what kind of broker do you have? Do you have an online broker, direct access? If you don't know, just tell me the name and I'll know right away. Just let me know what kind of broker do you have. Direct access, TD, TradeStation, Options Express, Fidelity. Okay. Online, Fidelity. Okay. All right, now, by the way, I can read all the chats, everyone, so nobody can read anyone else's chat, so just let you know I'm reading it out to you. All right, so we have a lot of people. Fidelity, FXED, FXTM, great company, Rob. Steve has Fidelity. Okay, good. TradeStation, Eric has DOA. Okay, good. All right, well, let me explain to you what the difference. Let me tell you how 50% of the people lose money in trading, okay? The biggest, most important mistake that people make is the first thing they do is they open up a brokerage account. Biggest mistake, okay? First of all, you don't even know what market you want to trade. You're just assuming, okay? Next thing, a lot of you are looking and see some great commercials. I think the first biggest thing people look at is who's the cheapest, okay? That's not how you trade. This is a business. Do you guys know what the definition of business is? It's making money, okay? So you can't, being a penny cheap is a dollar foolish. And one of the mistakes people make is they open up a brokerage account with the wrong company. Now, first of all, you can't open up a brokerage account if you don't even know how to trade. There's so many brokers that will give you training accounts, demo accounts, and you could trade on demo. Go out there, place bids and offers, practice with the execution system. And we do a lot of work with a lot of them. We do education for probably 50 brokerage firms all over the world. I've trained, I help develop platforms. I've worked with NASDAQ on building their ECN book. I've worked with every programmer because they're not traders, they're programmers. The thing is, they're all the same. The thing is, there's some things that some brokerage firms offer that you don't. Now let's talk about direct access versus online, because this is half the failure rate, okay? Well, Ed, that's a great question. Ed's question, what's the difference between brokerage firms? That's what I want to talk about, okay? Now, let me just get my crayons out here. Here's your order. All right, so now what happens, what you do with now this is an online broker, a company like Fidelity or Schwab or Scottrade. Most of the people the accounts that they push that make you want to open up is online accounts. Now, some of them do have direct access. I'm not going to question that. But they don't tell you about that because they don't make any money. And you'll see why. Here's your order. You send an email. What they're going to do is they're going to go out here, and they're going to take your order and sell it for something called payment for order flow. They're not even going in the market and buying it for you. What they're doing is you're telling them to buy it, and they're going to sell your order to another brokerage firm that's going to pay them for your order. Sounds kind of sleazy, doesn't it? But that's how online brokers make money. Payment for order flow. Now, if they don't have a buyer that's interested of a stock that you're looking to buy or sell, then it goes to the market maker. What they're going to do is those orders get routed through an order routing system. The first place they check is in inventory. They're going to see if they have stock that they own themselves. So they don't have to go out into the street, the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ, and buy it and pay more money for it. It's a lot cheaper for them, faster. Now, if they don't have it, then it goes to the trading desk. The trading desk guy has a direct access execution system. What he's going to do is he's going to go out there and he's going to buy it on the bid, and he's going to sell to you on the offer, and then when your order gets executed, then he's going to sell it to you for the price you want to buy it. Now, it kind of looks like a pretty long process, but you know what? This is how online brokers make money on your order. There's nothing wrong with it, nothing illegal. Listen, when you buy a car, right? When you go to a car, you want to buy a Porsche. Where do you go, to Germany and buy it from Porsche? No, you go to the local dealership. They don't make the car. They're just selling it. They're a dealer, okay? And you know, as them selling it, hey, they're in business to sell cars. That's why they mark it up, and that's why they make money. The stock market is exactly the same, but this is the difference. You don't have to go to the local dealer. You can actually go right to the factory and cut the line and buy it yourself. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call direct access. Now, tomorrow, I'll show you what direct access orders look like, okay? So hopefully, once again, and if you can't make it tomorrow, it's going to be recorded. But the thing is this. This is where your orders go. This is where you come out there and you buy stocks and you have a seat right on the exchange. There's no middleman. There's no payment for order flow. There's no, pending, good till 4 o'clock. There's none of that. You have a seat right on the exchange. Now, a couple of questions are coming across here. Now, I had a couple of people asking me a question. Tomorrow's webinar, Benny, starts at 9:30, okay, 9:35. Now, one of the other questions is interactive brokers direct access? You know what? I don't know. I don't do business with interactive brokers. So, you have to ask them. And once again, the best way to answer that question is when you watch me trade and you see me place an order out there, you will see a direct access order. And you'll see if it gets placed or not. If you don't see an order go out there and being posted on level 2 or on total view, then you do not have direct access. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that if you're happy dealing with public transportation all day and you don't want to drive your own car, then you know what? Deal with public transportation. There's a market for that. I know I'm not surrendering my driver's license to go back to public transportation. Now, once again, Daniel, he's like, which brokerage firm do you choose? Listen, the thing is this. Tomorrow, I'll go into a little more detail about it, but every single one of you, Daniel, are a case-by-case basis. I can't go out there and tell you who's better and who's not international. You know what? We do business with so many of you, and the thing is this. You have a different situation than everyone else. So this is what I'm going to do for you, Daniel. We have education advisors standing by. Call our office after today's meeting, talk to one of them, and he'll tell you, and they'll see what kind of trader you are. Do you do options, Forex? Some brokerage firms are better than others, and they'll explain it to you in detail, okay? Robert, I use a few of them. Robert's question, which one do you use? I use a few of them, okay? But like I said, I'll go over that, once again, what I use it for and what you might need it for, because you trade different markets, might be better. And not only that, but some of you have different margin requirements, account balance, it's different countries, different rules. That's the reason why. Now, let's change the slide here. Let's get right into it. Now, once again, Daniel, call our office, talk to an education advisor, okay? And they'll be able to advise you what would be best for you, okay? But my goal is I'm not here to educate you about brokerage firms. I'm here to educate you how to trade, okay? Like I told you, you have to learn how to drive the car before you go out there and buy it. That's why I keep telling everybody, don't worry about opening up a brokerage account. They're not going anywhere. You don't want to go out there and open up an account and you have the wrong person. Now, let's get into the education part of it, okay? Would you say? Okay, let's get right into it. Let's talk about one of the most important things that makes markets move. Now, I have a question for all of you. You all should be able to answer this question. Can everybody here just tell me, how do stocks go up and down in the market? Just give me a quick check. Just let me know. You should all be able to answer this question. Okay, everyone, I can see it there. Supply and demand, supply and demand, supply and demand. All of you, exactly. Thank you very much. Richard, Jared, Daniel, Lewis. Okay, perfect. Okay, supply and demand. Now, you want to know how 50% of the people lose money? Okay, if the other 50%, first we finished 150, now it's the other 50, because trading is an 80% failure rate. Let me tell you and prove it to you. You all just said stocks go up due to supply and demand, buyers and sellers. Okay, and I don't see anybody disagreeing right here. Now, here is the million-dollar question. Do you know who the buyer and seller is in the stock that you're trading? Do you see the buyers and sellers out there? And be honest. Do you see them? Yes or no? Okay, I'm just looking at the chat right now. Wow, only one person said it, so two people. No, 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 no. That's all I'm seeing. No, no. Sonny says TV. No, don't you know, I don't know if you know, Sonny, but the TV is also delayed. You only see numbers, Dr. Bob saying. Okay, well, the thing is this. Do you want it? How valuable do you think you could actually progress in trading if you knew to see that data? Well, there's something called total view, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now. What you're looking at right here, ladies and gentlemen, is, let me go back to this slide. Buyers and sellers. That's what you're looking at. Okay. Now, with that buyers and sellers, what you're seeing is you're seeing orders. Now, this is the raw data. You ever watch CNBC and you ever watch the TV and watch when they show the floor in the exchange? You ever see behind them when you see those big monitors behind them? You see those numbers. Basically, what you're looking at, that is the orders. That's the data, the orders that are out there. That data is available to you. Now, let's look over here, getting back to the slide. What you're seeing are buyers and sellers. This is the price they want to buy it for, and this is the amount of shares they want to buy. On the sell side, these are people looking to sell it. This is the price they want to sell it for. Now, whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to sell it for less money is down at the bottom. And the same thing for the ask side. Whoever wants to sell it for the least amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to sell it for more money is down here at the bottom. Now, how does that data help you? Okay, well, you have to understand that there are buyers and sellers at all different prices. The thing is this, what makes support and resistance levels on a chart, everyone? Let's see if you guys can answer that question. What's the difference, Albert? They're the same thing, just a different ECN. Volume, exactly. Trades, that's what, when you look at support and resistance, those are orders, past orders that were out there. Now, the thing you have to look at when you're looking at a total view is the first thing that sticks out is the big orders. You see big block orders, see 14,000 share buyer here at 41.35, and you see 100 share buyer at 42.50. I mean, so do the math. Where do you think the more predominant buyer is? 42.50 or 41.35? I know it's a stupid question, so you're going to get a stupid answer. But think about it. How many of you actually trade and see those orders? Okay. Well, let's move on and talk about this one right here. Here we're looking at a chart, okay? And you can see right here that we have a major resistance levels, right? The stock came back down and it went up and we came back down. Then what happened, the stock went back up again, okay? Now, in theory, when you're coming to a previous resistance level, everyone, what is the stock supposed to do? What is it supposed to do? It's supposed to go down, right? It's supposed to go down, exactly. So when you look at it, what should you have? If the stock is going down, what should we have, a support or resistance level? I'm just reading some of the questions here coming across. Just trying to fix something here. Hold on one second, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You're supposed to see buyers and sellers at a support resistance level. Okay, good. So now the next question is this. With those support resistance levels out there, when you look over here, look at the buyers, look at the sellers. Okay, so if that is a big resistance level, you should have a lot of sellers. Do you have a lot of sellers? No, you don't. What you do have is a 75,000 share buyer. Now, don't stocks break supports and resistance levels? Don't we break support and resistance levels all the time? I mean, can we break a resistance? Of course you could. How does that happen? The chart says it. It shouldn't, but when you look at the orders, I don't see any buyers and sellers out there, right? I see a lot of buyers. I don't see a lot of sellers. So what do you think is going to happen to the price of the stock, everybody? What do you think is going to happen? I'm just looking at the chat while you guys are chatting and what's coming across. That's right. It's going to go higher, okay, because you have a demand. You have a demand, you don't have a supply. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that's why stocks break supports and resistance levels, because they go up due to supply and demand, and there you have a demand, and that's why the stock is going up, okay? So let's change the slide here. You see that right there, ladies and gentlemen? See how the stock is obviously keep going higher? You see why the stock right here is obviously it's testing major support support levels. The reason people make mistakes in trading is they don't have a game plan. And what happens when you have a game plan, when you look at it, you have to see the resistance levels. You have to know where the next biggest seller. How many of you guys go into a trade, okay? You go into a trade and see a resistance level. Where do you see the next seller? A lot of you don't. And that is a mistake a lot of people make. Now remember, you have to understand, I live here in New York. I was trained by some of the best traders in the world, the best traders. And they taught me how to buy and they taught me how to sell. They taught me how to get in stocks. They taught me how to get out of stocks. And the thing they always taught me, they says, Fausto, you got to have a game plan. You need to know where the big orders are. This is trading 101. That's what this is, ladies and gentlemen. Trading 101. So if you don't know where the big buyers are and where the biggest sellers are, this is where people make their biggest mistakes. And this is why people lose money in the market. Okay? Now, any questions so far? Occasionally I did draw a horizontal line from my high time frame, Carl said. Well, the thing is this. You could draw all the horizontal lines you want, but don't horizontal lines get broken? Why do stocks keep going higher? Because people keep buying it. Why do stocks have a problem hitting resistance levels? because they have to take those sellers out. Now, let me just change the slide here. Les has a question. How do you get level 3? My platform shows only level 2. Level 3 is only day trading or for swing trading too. Well, Les, who's your broker? Who are you trading with? And yes, Joel, there is Total View for New York Stock Exchange. Thinkorswim doesn't have it. Great platform. I do a lot of education with them, but tomorrow I'll show you where you can get it, so you could trade side by side. Thinkorswim's a great options platform, you know, but on Total View is a little bit. It does cost money to get it. I could be honest with you. It costs $15. It's peanuts. Okay. Tomorrow I'll show you where you can get it. Does stochastics and RSIs and MACDs help? I'm going to talk about that in a few moments. These are cheap penny stocks. All right. Well, listen. Are you here to make money less, or are you here to? You know, the thing is this: is something wrong about trading a stock like Plug yesterday? You see what happened to Plug? I'm going to bring up some stocks I traded yesterday. Cheap stock went up what, 40, 50%? Anything wrong with that? Yeah, Plug was nice, right? Went way up. We'll talk about that too. And not only that, we'll just talk about Plug. We'll talk about BLDP. We'll talk about FCell. You know, listen, why are you here? To make money. That's the main reason. That's the way you have to look at it. Now, the thing is this. What I'm trying to show you right now is basically mistakes that people make. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they just don't know how to see the buyers and sellers. And that is something that you have to look at. When you're looking for buyers and sellers, you have to know where the supply and demand is. And the thing is knowing where the orders are. Because that right there, ladies and gentlemen, and that resistance levels right there is made by that buyer, and that resistance there is made by that seller. A couple of questions coming across here. Eric has a good question. Why do stocks have pre-market information and some do not? Eric, that is an excellent question, and I'm going to answer that at the end of in the next few moments, because I'm going to show you I have a slide that specifically that's going to answer that question, but I just don't want to jump ahead. Okay? All right. Here's another example of a stock. Stock goes up, stock goes down. Stock goes up, stock goes down. Now, the stock right now is trading at 1609. Now, for all our chart readers out there, what should the stock do right now? Looking at what you could see with the data you have available to you, stock right now is trading at 1609. What should it do? Should it go up or should it go down? Because how's it going to help you for options and some of you saying for Forex? The charting I'm going to talk about in a few moments. It should go up, right? Okay, but for a stock to go up, what do you need for it to go up? You need a demand. Okay, you need buyers. Now, we have a 10,000 share seller out here, and that probably explains why it always came down here. All right, so if we have a 10,000 share seller, we should have a 10,000 share buyer. Do you have one? Yes or no? I don't see anybody there. So if there's no buyer out there, what do you think is going to happen to the price of the stock? It's going to go down. And you know how much lower it's going to go down? Now, think about it. They have no buyers, stock's going down. So where is it going? Probably 1570 is where I see the next. I mean, I can't judge these thousands being any significant, but probably as low as down there where First Boston is. Now here you are like, oh my God, I'm losing, I'm losing $100. But let me tell you, like it or not, until somebody's going to come out there and post another 10,000 shares, this thing's going right down there, you know. And Carl's question is like, who knows? Carl, that's why people lose. You do know. You're supposed to know. You just have to look where the buyers are. That's all you have to look for. Now, That's basically what we talked about, high frequency trading. Now, does anyone here know what high frequency trades are? Well, I got news for you. I just taught you what they are. Those are high frequency trades, okay? And high frequency trades control about 70% of the market. So by knowing and seeing those high frequency trades, it's going to make your life a lot easier to understand why we having a MACD or a Fibonacci, or why is these stocks breaking support and resistance levels, or why these stocks keep going down on me or going up. That is what controls the market. And if you're not monitoring those high frequency trades, you know, the HFTs, then you're basically trading blind, okay? And you're better off just going back to your day job. But right there is trading 101. Well, the thing is this. This is the thing. Banks, basically, you could see those banks and those orders, and that's the thing you have to look at. All right? Now, let's talk about the big movers. Let's talk about finding the stocks. All right? Let's talk about finding stocks. Now, finding them is pretty easy. It's not that hard. Now, tomorrow morning at 9:35, I know some people just logged in, I'm going to be doing another free webinar, and you're all invited to come and join, okay? Now, the thing is this. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be inviting some of you that want to join me at 9 a.m. Now, I do a pre-market trading event. Pre-market. I don't know if anybody ever seen pre-market. I don't know if you always see why these stocks gap up and gap down. For some of you, I'm going to give you an opportunity to come and join me. Some of the lucky ones here want to make it in, and see me. I'm going to talk about it. But finding stocks, I'll show you how I find them. Finding them is very, very easy. It's not hard to find stocks, okay? The hard part is being disciplined enough to get in them. Now, there's a lot of stocks moving in the market. You know, today there was a lot of stocks you probably never heard of. Did you guys see what happened with the stock symbol XGTI? Ever hear of a stock called XGTI? Stanley, you did. Stanley, where did you hear about that one? Where did you hear that one, Stanley? Right, that's right. Okay. Now the thing is, I show you how to scan the top 20 list. That's this right here. Okay. Finding the top 20 list is basically what we look for. Is she's going to show us what's moving in the market, what's not moving in the market, and I'll show you how to go through one by one. So when it comes to pre-market at 9 a.m. for the ones that want to come and join me, I'll show you how I scan the market and how I find these stocks. But like I bring up the stock called XGTI. Anyone here have an execution system? Here, I'll put the symbol in here for you guys to read. XGTI, okay? Look it up. This stock was a $2.20 stock this morning at 9:30. Right now, it's trading at $4. It's up 89%. I don't ever think Google ever went up 89% in one day. I never saw Exoma or BlackBerry or Microsoft or Intel or Groupon or Facebook ever being up 89% on a day. These are things I teach you. You see, one thing you learn about trading, we don't care what we trade, okay? This is a business. I'm a carpenter, okay? I just got a job in the worst neighborhood in the world. Now, do I care where I'm going? Listen, the job's paying 5 times more money than any job of me working in the $1 million homes. What, am I going to turn it down? Money is money, okay? Unfortunately, catastrophes make opportunities. Traders don't trade things because, oh, I don't know what the company does. You know, we don't. Is that what you really care about? What's more important to you, what you trade or making money? Because I know there's a lot of great companies out there like Microsoft. I love the company to death. Hasn't done anything in 3 years, 4 years. How's that working out for you? Okay. Oh, what about Apple? Oh, I love Apple. I bought an Apple iPad. Stock, what would it go up to? 800, 900? How's that working out for some people that thought it was going to 1300? How about all those people that said, anybody here trade Priceline? Anybody own it? You know how many people shorted Priceline? And like, I never would buy Priceline. I don't even use it. How is that thing? People are shorting at $300. Where's it today? Anybody know? Where is it? 1300? It's worth more than Google? Are you kidding me? People are still trying to short it, okay? But it's a $1,300 stock, so it must be a good company. But there are companies like XGTI. You don't need a lot of money to trade. That's the other thing that a lot of you guys make a misconception. You think you need a lot of money to trade. You don't need a lot of money to trade. And I'll show you how to do that in the morning. Now, a couple of things. Really bad cause. I bought it over 700, still holding. Well, good for you, Tish. Now, Robert, you like to join? Well, listen, Robert, I'm going to let you know at the end of the presentation how you could join, okay? And it's not even just tomorrow morning. I'm going to give you 3 days to sit with me. How about that? So anyway, let's look about how I got into education and on how I teach. Now, I only trade about 30 minutes to an hour every morning. What I do is I do an online live meeting. I start at 9 a.m. and I show you how to read the pre-market, what's happening in pre-market. We look at all the high-frequency trades, all the pre-market orders, and then you can see here at 9:30, you can see our stock, they run from like 270 to 320, okay? Now, do the math. In 15 minutes, what is 275 minus 325? Can you guys do the math? What's the math on that? By the way, some of you, if you click on where it says send to all participants, you all can read it. 50 cents, right? Right, Jim? Okay, everyone else? Now, what's 50 cents times 1,000 shares? $500. Okay? I have no idea what VTUS is. I don't care, but you know what? It was the big percentage gainers, made $500. You know $500 is over 500 times 5 days a week times 52 weeks. That is, if you could see, it's about $130,000 a year. Anybody want to turn down a job of $132,000? I know I wouldn't. I know some of you wouldn't, okay? So the thing is this. This is why trading became an education for me, because I was only trading an hour in the morning, and that's why I teach. And I could teach you guys do the same thing. There's a lot of stocks out there you could trade and make a day's pay, but volume, timing is most important. Now let's talk about the KISS method. Anybody here know how to read charts? Anybody use charts here? All right, somewhat. Benny says a little confusing for him. Forex charts, okay. Stanley, in some platforms. VJ, yes. I learn every day, Wayne. Okay. Now, what is the problem with indicators? Can anybody tell me? They're lagging. Do you want to be a lagger or you want to be a leader? What makes indicators move? The movement of the stock. And the problem with indicators is that people start getting pretty damn overwhelmed with these indicators. I mean, look at this. Chart number 1, chart number 2. What chart's easy to read? Top one's very important. You got Bollinger Bands, stochastics, RSIs, I heard that's pretty important. MACDs, moving average, volume. Come on. Number 2 is a lot easier to read. You know what the top one looks like? My 5-year-old's school project. If you guys ever get the opportunity to come to my office, I have a wall, which is all the pictures of my kids, and that's basically what it looks like. The thing is this. Indicators do work for swing trading and investing. It does not work for day trading. So I'm telling you right now, if you're looking to day trade or short-term day trade, stay away from it. It does not work. All right? And not only that, it's confusing. And what are you looking to be? Are you looking to be an analyst or are you looking to be a trader? And I'll prove it to you. Let's go back and talk about who are the best traders. If you had an opportunity to learn from somebody in the market, where could you find the best traders to teach you? Where are the best traders in the world? All right, on the floor. Okay? Now, when you watch them on the floor, when they show you on CNBC, and you watching it, I got it up over there too. I got my TV over there. Okay, so you're watching CNBC right now, all right? And they show you the floor of the exchange, right? Do you see the buyers and sellers? Do you see them looking at charts, or you see orders? That's the way you have to look at it. If they're not using it, why are you? All right, now a couple of rules. We're running out of time. I got about 10 more minutes. I want to get right into this really quick. I know that some of you have places to go. I just have a couple more slides I want to go through, and I'll tell all of you how to join me tomorrow. Rules as a day trader, okay? This is me, and this is you, okay? The thing is this. If you want to be successful in trading, you need a mentor. If it's not me, definitely get somebody, but definitely do your homework and interview every instructor before you go there. But that is rule number one. You need someone to train you how to do it. Find out what you feel is best. Next thing, you have to remember, trading is a job. So when you go out there trading the market, you have to understand it's not investing. You can't take anything personal, okay? You need to know how to play the game, which a lot of you don't know. Some of you here, are you practicing with the demo platforms? Are you practicing with other executions, which ones you like? Okay, what works best for you? Are you analyzing your trades? Are you keeping a diary of your market? You're analyzing your trade. A lot of you probably not doing that. Are you having fun? Because let me tell you, trading is a lot of fun. And these are the things you have to look at. These are things that we teach you at Cyber Trading University. Having fun, learn how to keep a diary, learn from your mistakes, analyzing your trades, learning how to have a game plan. That is what traders do every single day. It does get very tiring, Les. It sure does. But it's a hell of a lot of fun if you know what you're doing. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Cyber Trading University and about things that we do here and how we educate you. So the question you're probably asking now is, okay, Fausto told me something very important. What did we learn? Timing during the day. We talked about charts, how confusing they are. We talked about the difference between online brokers and direct access brokers. We talked about high-frequency trades, level 3, total view, okay? That is the trading 101. Now, what else do we do here at Cyber Trading University? We trade with you. We have a professional trading room. So what I did was this. The way I learned to be a very successful trader, and anybody you probably would talk to that is successful, they'll tell you that they always work in a trading community, okay? They always work with a trading group of people. When you work on the floor, you're working not by yourself, you're with your team. So we started a team, and I've been doing this for I started the team about 15 years ago, okay? And what we do is, it's a good way you get started. Now, most people usually don't stay in the team, they end up going on their own because, once you know what you're doing, you don't need to be there anymore. I'm not at my team anymore. I run my own team, So the thing is this is what we do, how we train you. We tweet and text everything that we do, okay? If you do a search for Cyber Trading University on Twitter, you'll be able to get and link up with us, and we do every day we do a end of the day recap. That's free, or you could join our paid version, which is we do the tweet and text all day long. Now, the reason why we text also is some of you probably don't like Twitter, so maybe you like a text message, so we text message all our trades. Now, this is what I'm showing you right here, okay? This, ladies and gentlemen, are my trades for yesterday. This was a screenshot of my Twitter feed from this morning. Now, these are all the stocks that we traded this morning, okay? Now, March 4th, what I'm showing you right now are my trades. These are the trades I did this morning. Now, if you guys join me in my professional trading room, I know I have some students in here right now. You could ask them point blank. I traded every single stock except this one, which I didn't like, okay? Every single one of them, and you could see right here, these are all my orders. I did all my trades right at 5 minutes before the open, okay? Now, here's the time, 9:44. So in a matter of 15 minutes, this is how my orders end up. Now, this plug trade, just to let you know, that was an overnight from the night before, so that's why it's up 1,100. But you could see plug right here. It went from 1590 to 630. So when I already had like a $500 winner going into the morning. All right. Now those are my trades. Now I'm going to change to the next slide. This is what my realized balance it was when the market was over. Okay, $2,242. That's what I ended up being up in a matter of 30 minutes. Okay, that was yesterday. Let's talk about today, March 5th. You can look at all these Twitter feeds. Okay, these are all the trades that we traded this morning. All right, right here. These are all the stock picks. But I only traded these. US, Exoma, ROSG, CPST. My biggest winner was the SWIP. Now you could see that I made a lot of money in the ARWR right there. Hold on right here. I lost money in 1, 2, 3 stocks, 4 of them actually, and I made money on the other 3. And when I change the slide here, when you figure out I sold them all, I end up being up on the day $1,080, okay, on the day, in a matter of what, 30 minutes. So the thing is this. I show all my trades. I trade with my students. If you bought one of these stocks, now what I did was, because I knew I was doing this event, I says, you know what, I'm buying all these stocks. I'm going to show you what it's like to trade 30 minutes. Now, granted, I wouldn't trade all of them, but I wanted to take a couple of screenshots to show you how all of them worked out. Because people always say, you know, oh, yeah, Fausto, or everyone, oh, yeah, these are great winners. What about you losers? So you know what? I'll show you my losers. You see my losers? They're there. I have nothing wrong with it. This is the thing. You don't judge somebody by their winners. You judge them by their losers. Because you don't win on every single trade, and you know that. So that's something that I'm going to show you. I'll show you how I do my pre-market, how I bought them, how I make money with it. Each trade you could see right here is 1,000 shares. Couple of questions here. Yes, VV, they are day trades. These are day trades. There's some of them I did. Plug I did is a swing trade, or an overnight swing trade. Anything overnight is a swing trade, but most of them are day trading. Well, I don't know. You tell me. Question right here. I have a question. How much money do you need to trade this way? I don't know. I traded a $24 stock, a $3 stock, a $2 stock, a $5 stock, a $7 stock, a $4 stock. I mean, what do I need? Like maybe 50,000 that I spent in dollars? Hell, if you didn't even buy the expensive ones, you bought the cheap ones, what do you need? You don't need a lot of money to trade. Now, the thing is this, Ed, and this is another big mistake people make. Ed says you're buying stocks or options. I'm buying the stock. You want to trade options? No problem. But let me tell you something. You have to learn how to trade the stock first before you trade the option. If you're trading options without learning the stock, you're going to lose. You're just going to, because it's the movement of the stock that makes the option move. Why are you doing the opposite? That's a poor man playing a rich man's game. Don't do that. Because you know what? If you bought a stock like Plug, cheap stock, did you have to trade the option? You could just trade the stock. Probably cost you the same thing. Options on the bid and ask can kill your profit. It sure can, Les. Thank you very much for sharing that. But that's why you're here. You're realizing it. You know, options are very good, to let you know, my honest opinion. Options are very good for insurance policies. Or you want to hedge a trade that you have. Or maybe you have a lot of money, you want to sell the option because you own the stock. But trying to go out there and trade a stock because you can't trade the option, because you can't afford the stock, that's a poor man playing a rich man's game. And that's about a 90 to 95% failure rate. Okay? Now, here's a couple of testimonials, ladies and gentlemen, of students that we've trained, telling you, you could see them, you could visit all of them. They're in our trading room. We took some screenshots of what they had to say, good and bad. So feel free when you if you're going to join us in our trading room, feel free, you'll see some of the feedback and what it's like to be in a real trading environment. Now, if anybody wants to learn about dark pools, okay, I know everyone's like, ooh, what's this dark pools? I'm going to give you my personal email address. You could email me at faustop@ctucorp.com. Email me and I'll send you an article if you want to read the article on dark pools, okay? What the real truth is on dark pools. You always get people that always ask me, what's a dark pool? It's no different than a high-frequency trade. It's the least of your problems, but I think you need to know. So I'll send you this article so you can read it. All right, now, let's get right into it about how we get into part 2 tomorrow. Well, once again, to remind all of you, 12-time champion at the Money Show and Traders Expo. You can give them a call. They'll be happy to justify it. Also, Equities Magazine ranked us #1 school 6 years in a row, okay? And the reason for it is because the instructors that work at CyberTrade University are all market makers. We've all traded on the floor. We've all traded there. And so you're learning from the people that you really want to learn from. Now, how can I start learning today, making money today? Who here wants to learn how to make $200 to $500 a day? Well, this is what I'm going to do. For the lucky ones that want to join me, I will show you how to make the $200 to $500 a day, just watching me for 3 days. I'm giving you I'm giving you 2 opportunities. You could join me tomorrow, or you could join me for 3 days. Okay, but I'm going to teach you how you can make $200 to $500 a day. Now, 2 great deals. All right. What you have to do is we have a new website, www.ctu.co. Okay, not .com, .co. That's our new website. 2 great deals. You can join me for the free course tomorrow. It's a free beginner course, live trading, right on the homepage. Just click on that link. Or if you want to come and join me for pre-market trading, there's a link over here that says, and I'll put the link in for you. Hold on, let me just get it for you. Okay. If you want to be able to join me for pre-market trading, right here, that link that I just put in, and if you click on my name, there's a personal URL right there, a little pin right there. If you see that little pin right next to my name, that will bring you to a URL, bring up a browser. Now, you could join me for free, or you could join me for pre-market trading. Now, this is what you're going to get. $19. That's all I'm asking for, okay? Take your lunch money, $19 is what I'm going to give you. You're going to get 3 days starting today. You're going to join me right after this meeting. You're going to join me and watch me trade live in my professional trading room, okay? So, and with that, what you're going to get is right here. I do a live audio broadcast at 9 o'clock. And all those trades that you saw were done in pre-market. I do that. What I do is I do my broadcast, and then I Twitter and text them. So you get to join me at 9 a.m. The room actually opens up at 8 a.m., 8:30 to 4. But what you're going to do is I run a professional trading room, and then I run an audio broadcast at 8:30, at 9, and 2:30. And as a bonus, I'm going to do a workshop on Friday afternoon. So for $19, I'm prostituting myself for $19 for 3 days. If you want to see what a true professional, what he trades like, come and join me. If you don't want to make the investment and you want to just come and join me after I make my announcement and just see what happens for free for an hour and just sit there for the hour and not pay the $19, then register for the free event. Now, this is very important for some of you that are buying, okay? Once you buy the $19, now I want to talk specifically for the ones that are going to join me. You have to call book an appointment with an education advisor at Cybertrade University. He will explain your purchase of $19, okay? Because I don't want you to go into the trading room and like, okay, what's going on, or what's this, or what am I seeing, or even how do I log in? Logging is pretty easy, but here at Cybertrade University, we want to be your advisors. We want to help you make sure you're doing the right decision. We just don't take you, because listen, this is not, you have to understand, this is not Cybertrade University / Fausto Pugliese, okay? I'm not a one-man show. I have a very educated staff that works for me. I have a very big staff, and they're all educated and all professional traders. They all learn how to trade. You can even talk to an instructor. So one thing, you got to remember, when you're getting involved with a company, you got to make sure you're dealing with someone that's going to be there for you. I mean, there's some good speakers out there, good traders, but you got to remember, you don't want to deal with a one-man operation, or sometimes you don't want to deal with a major corporation, because then you're just another person out there. But we have a very good staff, and they're willing to help you. So if you do buy the $19 special, you can call in, you can register online, but make sure you book your appointment so they could talk to you and walk you through what you're looking to do, okay? Now, if anybody wants a copy of my slides today, go to faustopsttucorp.com. Feel free to do that. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, does anyone have any questions? I know we went a little bit past our time, but does anyone have any questions about what we talked about, or about the promo, or anything else? Is there a volume requirement? Yes, Denise, and I'll actually talk about that in my class. Most stocks should trade on the average about 1 million to 2 million a day. At the minimum, not the maximum, the minimum. 19 for 3 days, what's the normal sub price? The normal price, Joel, for the full-blown thing is, my trading room is $200 a month. But you're getting a sample of 3 days, see if you like it. I know for a fact that you're going to make money. Listen, I just showed you 2 days, yesterday and today. Yesterday I made $2,800. Today I made $1,100. When you get in the trading room, you can ask the traders yourself. So that's the way you have to look at it. Do you have classes that teach basics? Yes, Kimberly. Okay. The thing is this: if you want to learn how to trade, you get education. When you call the office, talk to one of the education advisors. Okay. They'll tell you about our courses we teach: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and they'll be happy to explain to you. Because I run 2 different rooms. I run a trading room and I run a teaching room. We don't mix and match. You can't have somebody teach you in a trading room, because when you're trading, you're trading. It's like, listen, I can't teach you how to play football at the Super Bowl. We do that for practice. You understand? So there's a time for practice and there's a time for trading. And we usually do it when the market's not active, volume. And Frank, by the way, the recordings, if whatever you miss, it's going to be recorded. So if you can't be here for all 3 days, when we do the broadcast of when we do the trades, when you log into your dashboard, you'll be able to at least watch the recording. And actually, you can actually access it through your phone. So if you're not by a computer, one thing that's great about technology and our new website, you can access it all through your cell phone, as long as it's a smartphone. Robert, when do I place the trades? Yes, depending on which stock, I will place the trades sometimes at 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'll do them right in the middle of the meeting. But and I do them as you're watching it. So we're doing it live. Vivian says, that's a good question. It seems that most brokerage firms out there limit the day trading and push for you to over 3 trades per month or so. How do you fix? Well, the thing is this, Viv, they don't want you to, depending on which brokerage firm you have, maybe the size of your account, but I think the best thing you to do, why don't you call here and talk to the education advisors, explain to them who your broker is, and then they'll tell you, why that is and why it isn't. Because it looks like your question is going to need a little bit more explaining than that. Any other questions? Now remember, guys, there's 2 packages you could register: the free one or the paid one. So, just make a choice, whichever one you like. All right. Any other questions? James, you have a question? I see you typed in yes. No problem, Viv. Thank you very much for coming. Just looking at the chat. The line is busy. Okay, listen, if the line's busy, once again, just keep trying. They'll get to you, or give us, or just send me an email. But the best thing to do is register online, and then somebody will get back to you immediately if you can't get somebody on the phone. I know we have about I have like 7 people on staff, so there was over 200-300 people here. So sorry if there's maybe an influx of phone calls that came in. You're more than welcome, Eric. Thank you for coming. All right, so with that said, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I look forward to see you guys tomorrow morning. Okay, I have a question to come in here. What is the offers next week? I'm in the process of transferring my account and should be available Friday or Monday. Robert, don't worry about you transferring your account. That's not going to stop you from learning. You got to learn before you could earn. So you do whatever you got to do. Transferring shouldn't stop your education. But this promo is only for today to Friday. That's it. Okay? Thank you very much, James, for your question. No, James has a question. Do I fall for the paid training? You could, well, talk to the education advisor, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the training if you want to know more about that. Okay? Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, for the ones that are going to be joining me now, moving on from here into the trading room, we're going to be doing a live broadcast in about 20 minutes, what to trade in the afternoon. So if you did buy the $19 special, just remember, you're going to be going into a different room right now when you log into your dashboard, and I'm going to be doing another live broadcast. I'm going to talk about some of the stocks, specifically this XGTI that I really like going into the close, and you'll see how we trade going into the afternoon, okay? So for the ones that are going to be joining me, just get prepared. We're going to be doing another live broadcast in about 20 minutes. And for the ones that are not, listen, just register online. I'll see you all at 9:30 tomorrow morning, all right? So for everybody, listen, thank you very much for coming, for myself and everyone at CyberTrade University. We appreciate you being here and look forward to teaching you, and see you tomorrow morning or hopefully in the next 20 minutes. Thanks, everyone. Happy trading.